always an opportunity to learn and grow.
My name is Oyebode Esther. I studied religious studies at the University of Ibadan.
My name is Ifeoluwa. I studied cell biology and genetics in the University of Lagos, after which I got a job working in the bank.
My name is Regina Taiwo. You wouldn't believe I studied architecture in school.
I knew there was more, so I decided to take a leap. Currently, I am a product designer and a product manager.
I'm currently a motion graphics designer.
Presently, I am a data scientist and an AWS cloud engineer.
I understand that being a lady is not a disadvantage, so I embrace tech.
And I am thriving as a Texas.
And I am thriving as a Texas.
Now I can say I'm a thriving Texas.
Are you ready to break new grounds and join the world of tech? The Ladies in Tech Africa initiative is a commemorative bootcamp in honor of our visionary, Pastor Mrs. Folu Adeboye, as we join her in thanking God for her 76th birthday celebration. This program is designed to help you make your career shift a reality. Registration is open and you can register via the link on your screen right now.
The world of technology is constantly evolving, which means there's always an opportunity to learn and grow.
My name is Oyebode Esther. I studied religious studies at the University of Ibadan.
My name is Ifeoluwa. I studied cell biology.
Have you ever wondered how
so that it can display on search engine results pages. So without further ado, let's jump right into it, where we're going to look at the definition of SEO and where we're going to go deep down into the world of SEO and help you understand how the search engine works. So with this knowledge, you can better help businesses rank their websites on the internet. So let's take a look at what the definition of search engine optimization is. So like I said initially, it's an acronym for SEO. So SEO is the process of optimizing a website to improve its visibility on search engine result pages. By improving a site's SEO, it becomes more likely to appear at the top of the results when users search for related keywords. Now, moving forward, we are going to learn about keywords, what they are, how you can identify major keywords, and how you can use them to your advantage as an SEO expert and also as a digital marketing expert. So SEO is essential for driving organic traffic, increasing brand visibility, and ensuring long-term online success. Now, let's take a look at this sentence here. It says SEO is essential for driving organic traffic, increasing brand visibility, and ensuring long-term online success. Now, SEO basically helps businesses with organic traffic. Organic traffic are traffic that are not initiated by any form of paid source. Now, we have different form of paid traffic. You can get some paid traffic to your website or your social media account using mediums like Google Ads. So in this regard, you have to pay for your content to be published to a large group of people so they can engage with your your content rather, therefore pulling a lot of traffic to your website. It could be your website, it could be your social media page where you have a campaign running. Or paid ads also involves you running paid Facebook ads where you pull a lot of traffic to either your website or your Facebook page. But SEO basically involves a process where you are still able to pull this traffic to either your website or your social media accounts, but you are doing it organically. Now, with SEO, you don't need to spend extra money for paid ads. What this does is you are optimizing your social media account, you're optimizing your website. That way it can easily be found on the internet based on specific keywords. Now, the internet is very large. Users are searching for numerous things at once. But with SEO and with the right keywords, you can help people easily find your website or your social media account online. Now, that's what SEO does. SEO helps businesses to um, bring in more tailored users to their websites. Why? Because users are searching for specific keywords. It could be marketing, it could be sales. Now, this businesses gets to optimize their website for these keywords. That way, they can easily attract people who are searching with these keywords. Now, I'm going to show you a few examples whereby I'm going to search the web so you can see how search engine is able to um, give me websites based on my search keywords. You're going to see all of these keywords on the various websites that are going to display on my search engine results pages. So that's just a basic overview of SEO and how businesses use SEO to be able to get tailored traffic to their website. Now let's look at what organic traffic is. Organic traffic refers to visitors who land on your website as a result of unpaid or organic search results. These visitors find your site after using a search engine like Google, Bing, or Yahoo. Now, aside Google, there are other search engines like Bing and Yahoo, but they are not so popular compared to Google. So, there are also other search engines on the internet. So without clicking on paid advertisements, organic traffic is driven by your site's relevance to the search query and the quality of your SEO efforts, such as optimizing content, keywords, and website structure. Now, let's take a look at this sentence. From organic traffic. Organic traffic is driven by your site's relevance to the relevant search query and the quality of your SEO effort, such as optimizing your content, your keyword, and your website structure. So let me show you an example. I'll stop sharing now. Let me share my entire screen so you can understand what this means. I'm going to actually conduct a search on the internet so you can see how search engine basically works. So let's say I want to buy a bag. Okay, so let me search for school bag on the internet. Now, school bag is a keyword. Once I initiate this search, you're going to see the first website that pops up here is Jumia. Jumia has school backpacks. Now, this is able to rank on this page because Jumia has optimized the site with this keyword. And if you look down, you can see branded gift also has branded school bag, travel backpacks, and school bags. Now, this is also another website, iPrint Nigeria. Now, when I initiated this search, which is school bag, what this does, this is a keyword. I spoke about keyword. This is a keyword. And what this does is it helps Google to identify websites that has these keywords, and it's going to display this website for me. What this is doing, it's helping me find the answers that I want. Now, it's helping me match the keyword that I want with relevant website on the internet. That way, I can get tailored responses that I need. So moving forward, let's take a look at other results. Now you can see GG as well, school bag. Now this is how the search engine works. Now if I search for something else, let me search for something else. Let me search for washing machine. Now this is also another keyword. Now moving forward, we're going to look into it. Now here we still have Jumia that has washers and dryers. You can see washing machine. If you look closely, you will see that this is somehow highlighted. This is because search engine has recognized this keyword and it has searched the internet with relevant websites with certain form of authority, and it has pulled out this website for me because it actually realized that it matches my search query. Now, this is also another company which is in Lagos. Now, this is also another company here in Nigeria. Now, this is also LG as well. Now, this is how search engine works using the query keywords. Now, do digital marketers use how do digital marketers use search engine to make sales? Now, this is an important question. Now, if I have a website and I sell washing machine as well, I will have to optimize my website with washing machine as a keyword. That way, when someone gets to the internet and they want to buy a washing machine and the search engine is going to crawl through websites on the internet and it's going to pull out results of websites that has the word washing machine on the website. So that's how it works. Now, if I move down, you see there are a lot of websites here. So you see now this ranking is based on certain things and we're going to look into it. And if you move down, you see there are also other pages as well. You can see there are also other pages. Now, the thing with SEO is why a lot of people use SEO is because once people initiate a search, they rarely go to the second page of Google. Now, I can attest to the fact that for me, whenever I initiate a search, I stick with the first 2, 3, 4, fifth result I get, and I don't even bother going to the next page unless if I check and I did not get to see what I want. That's when I go to the next page. Now, how does SEO help businesses make sales? Now, when you are able to optimize your website based on certain criteria and it appears on the first page, and what this does is that me searching for this, I have the intent of buying basically. So that's why I am actually searching for this. So if I get on the internet and I select any of these websites, they are likely to make a sale. Now, this is how search engine optimization, or this is how businesses use search engine optimization to make sales. Now, we are also going to look at this moving forward, but I just thought it was important for me to point it out. Now, here you're seeing sponsored. Now, this here is paid ads. Remember, I said something about how businesses can pull traffic to their website. They can either do this using search engine optimization or paid ads. Now with paid ads, you have to pay Google for your product or your website to the top so that when people search, they get to just click on the first result they get and proceed to look at the information and then buy. Now, this is the difference between paid ads. So if you are on the internet and you are trying to search for something and you see this here sponsored, it means this business, they have to pay Google for their product to appear here, and basically they are able to rank at this point because they are using certain keywords, which is washing machine. That is why their website or their product is able to rank at this point. Now let's head over to our lecture note. I believe this brief explanation has given you an insight on what SEO is and how businesses use SEO to improve their organic traffic and also to drive users to their websites who would likely make a purchase. Now, let's take a look at the key characteristics of organic traffic. One, it's unpaid. Unpaid traffic from search ads. Unpaid. Unlike paid traffic from search ads, organic traffic comes from search engines' natural results. You don't pay for each click. You don't pay for each click or visit, making it a cost-effective way to attract visitors over time. Now it's unpaid. Now I made an illustration initially with the sponsored here. Now for these ads here, how they are charged based on clicks and certain impressions. So if I click on this ad and I get to this website, Google gets to charge this business running these ads. But if I move down, any of this website I get to interact with, they do not get to spend any money because it's organic. So now that's the difference. Organic SEO basically helps your business to rank high. Therefore, you don't need to spend money repeatedly to run ads. Now, that's one of the benefits of SEO. Now, moving forward, relevance. Now, organic traffic is highly relevant because it is generated when users search for keywords related to your content, product, or services. When users find what they are looking for on your website, they are more likely to engage, convert, or become loyal customers. Now, organic traffic is relevant because now I searched for a school bag and a washing machine. As you can see, it is showing me websites that have this on them where I can now, buy, because now it's not just showing me every other website on the internet. So if I search for something else, what search engine will do is it's going to show me websites that have this product. So if I want to buy, let's say, a sewing machine, and I search for it, so let me search for sewing machine. Now what this will do is it is going to populate websites that has sewing machine already for me to buy. Now it is showing me relevant traffic. It's not just taking me to just any website. It is giving me relevant traffic. That way, I am able to find the relevant websites that I need. So if I own a website and I sell sewing machine and my website is perfectly optimized, if I initiate a search, Google is going to display websites that sells sewing machine, and they do this based on certain criteria which we are going to look into basically. And these criteria determine if your website is going to display at the first, at the second, at the third, or down the search results. So we're going to look at all of these things. So like I said, organic traffic brings in relevant traffic to your website. Now, SEO driven. So to increase organic traffic, websites need to follow SEO best practices, including optimizing content, using relevant keywords, building backlinks, improving site speed, and enhancing user experience. So these are some of the things that you need to do on a website for it to rank effectively on SERP, which is search engine result pages. Now, SEO has long-term impact. While building organic traffic requires time and effort, it provides lasting benefits. Unlike paid traffic, which stops when you cease paying for ads, organic traffic can continue to grow over time if you maintain a good SEO strategy. Now, let's head over to the internet right here. So, as you can see, like I said, once I initiated a search on the internet, you can see this here. It's showing me sponsored. Now, what happens if this company, I think this is Jumia is actually running both paid ads and they also rank well organically. So even if Jumia stops running paid ads, they are still going to get organic traffic because of their site authority and because of over time they have been able to build a good reputation basically. So Jumia now is trying to actually capture every traffic that they can with paid ads, with organic ads as well. So basically, if Jumia decides not to run any form of paid ads, they will still show up on the first listing here, and they will still be able to capture this traffic and potentially make a sale. So that's what search engine optimization does. So it helps you. So once you do it, basically, you no longer have to keep paying money repeatedly for ads. And that's one good thing about SEO because it has a long-term benefit to your brand. Now, moving forward, now let's look at why organic traffic is important. Now, why is it important? Because one, it is cost effective. So like I said initially, it doesn't require ongoing payment like paid ads, making it a sustainable strategy for long-term growth. So unlike paid ads where the moment you stop paying for ads, so if you have run any form of ads on Facebook or on Google or on YouTube, the moment you stop paying for ads or the moment you exhaust your budget, your ads stops running. So With SEO, it actually helps you to save this because now you do not need to bother about paying for ads. You're going to get relevant traffic to your website consistently as long as you maintain and you stick to SEO rules and requirements. Now, it has high intent. Visitors coming through organic search are often actively searching for the information, the product, or service you provide, which can lead to higher conversion rate. Now, why SEO is great is if you have been on Facebook, you might just be on Facebook and you get to see ads that pop up to that actually pops up on you. Now you might not be interested in that because you didn't search for it. But if if you have used, let's say, Facebook Marketplace and you search for certain products, you're going to see that these products are going to actually pop up in front of you. Now, this is happening because of search engine optimization, because you have the intent of buying, and any product that you see on that page after initiating a search, you would likely want to buy because you already have that intent before searching. Unlike paid ads that just comes, that is sometimes that is actually going to distract you, and you might not really be interested in it. So now that's where SEO gets to be a lot more better, because anyone who is initiating a search is likely interested. That's why they are taking that action. Now, next we have brand credibility. Now, ranking high in organic search results can enhance your brand's credibility and trustworthiness among others. Now, if your website ranks high on search engine results pages, it actually helps you to enhance your credibility because it shows that because there are certain criteria that you need for your website to rank high. First, you need to build website authority. You need to have a lot of backlinks. So if all of these things are in place on your website, now these are the things that will make your website to rank high on the first page of Google, which helps to add credibility to your business. Now, let's take a look at the importance of SEO in digital marketing. So it is cost effective. It's a cost-effective marketing strategy. It enhances online visibility, just as I have said. It helps you to build more credibility, trust. It gives you quality traffic generation because people who are coming to your website are getting to your website based on specific keywords. Now, mobile optimization, we're going to look at this. Adapting to changing algorithms. Now, we're also going to look at this. Improving user experience. Now, what this means is that it actually helps to improve user experience because when they initiate a search and they are looking for something, because of SEO, Google is able to deliver the right information to users, which helps to improve user experience. Now, data-driven decision making. Now, SEO actually helps to SEO basically helps you to make data-driven decisions because once you initiate an SEO search, you get to see relevant. You could get to see blog with information that will help you to better understand what you want, what you would need to buy before you take any form of action. Now, let's look at how to improve organic traffic. Now, there are ways you can improve organic traffic, and first, you can do that by content creation. Now, you can do this when you publish high quality, relevant, and engaging content that satisfies user intent. Now, these are ways you can improve organic traffic. Now, what this means is that so you can create more content around certain niche. So let's say you are in a certain niche. If you create more content about what people are searching for, this is actually going to help you improve your organic traffic because when people search for that keyword, Google is going to pop up your website on the first page and it's going to help you improve your quality and it's going to help you improve the level of traffic that is coming to your website. And most people sell from their blog. So let's say you are actually writing a blog post about how people can basically fix certain things in their cars. And when you are reading your blog post, you can have a section where you are now recommending cars for them to buy. Now it's a lot more easier for them to actually trust you because you are now giving them vital information. By creating content, you are helping them satisfy certain desires. You are actually helping them bridge knowledge gap, and they would likely actually trust you, which is actually going to help improve your sales. Now, ways you can improve your organic traffic, you can do this using keyword research. Now, use relevant keywords strategically in your content, meta tags, titles, and headers. Now, basically, if you want to improve your organic traffic, so if there are words that you would want your website or you want your blog to rank for, you have to make sure that you use these words on your content. You also need to make sure that you are using synonyms too, which is going to help Google prioritize your website when people engage in searches on the internet. So it's going to populate your website on the first page for them. Now let's look at this. It has on-page SEO. Now we're going to look at on-page SEO, technical SEO, and backlink building. Now, what is on-page SEO? On-page SEO basically means when you optimize meta tags, internal linking, images, image alt tag, alt text, and website structure to make your content more accessible to search engines. Now, this is what we are going to be looking at mostly today on page SEO. We're going to look at things you can do to optimize your meta tag, things you can do to optimize your the various images on your website, and also how you can make your website accessible. Now we're going to look at all of these things in no time. Now for technical SEO, we're going to look at how you can improve your site speed, because Google look at this if they want to rank your website, your mobile responsiveness, how easy it is for mobile users to use your website. Is your website secured? And are there any broken links on your website? So these are things that we will look at when we want to talk about the technical aspects of SEO. Now, backlink building. Gain backlinks from authoritative sites to improve domain authority and search engine ranking. So what this means is that we're actually going to go into this. I'm just trying to look for the best way to explain backlinking. Now, backlinking means when a website of higher authority links to your website. We're going to look at this in no time. So let's say it's a website like Google that has high authority links to my website. Now, what this means is that I'm actually building backlinks, which is really important to SEO. It tells search engine bots, because these are the bots that cross the web to bring out relevant websites when people engage in searches. It tells the search engine bots that your website too can be trusted, because if a reputable website is quoting things from your website, I'm actually going to show you how it's done, or show you how backlinking looks like, so you get to understand. So let me see if I can search for a blog. Let me see. How to get started with. So let me show you what backlinking looks like. How to get started with, let's see, digital marketing. So let me show you what backlink means and how businesses are able to use backlinking. So let's take a look at this website. So this is Indeed, how to become a digital marketer in 6 steps. Now you can see in this, let's take a look at this first paragraph. Now it says, in this article, we explain how to become a digital marketer. Now this is a link. Once I click on this link, you see this link is leading me to, I think this link is still leading me to Indeed, basically. So this is an example of backlink. So if this link is taking me to another website that is different from Indeed, this is how backlink looks like. So what this means is that Google will see this as an indicator that this website is gaining backlink from a website with higher authority, which is going to help your ranking as well. So let's see if we can look, if we can find any other link here. So I think all of these links here are all going to Indeed's website. I'm trying to see if I can find one that is going to a different website entirely. So let me check another page. So that's basically what backlink means. When a website of higher authority is linking to another website, it shows a transfer of trust. So that means Google can now rank your website high because you are ranking to you are actually sharing links with a website with higher authority. So let me see if I can look for another website. So yeah, let's take a look at HubSpot. HubSpot should have links to other websites. Now, what you're seeing on the Indeed's website is called internal linking, which is also great because now you are linking to other resources on your website. So this is also great for SEO as well. Let me see. This is okay. This is not what I'm looking for, but basically you get the idea. I don't really want to spend a lot of time on this because we are still going to look into it in more details. Now this is how search engine works. Now you want to understand how all of how this process is being done. How when you initiate a search on the internet, how is the search engine able to pull out relevant results for you? Let's see how it works. Now, understanding how search engine operates is fundamental to mastering SEO. First, we have crawling. Search engine use bots known as spiders or crawlers to discover content on the web. These crawlers navigate through websites following links to find new pages. Now, this is how search engine works. So there's something that is called the spider or crawlers. So once you initiate a search, now this search engine bot gets to crawl the internet in order for it to deliver relevant websites that has these keywords on them. Now, indexing. Once a page is crawled, it is stored in a database known as an index. The index is essentially a vast library of web pages that the search engine can pull from to answer search queries. Now, once your website is crawled, basically the bot gets to understand the content on your website because it's now indexed. It's now saved in a library where someone initiates a search and the search has that certain keyword. Now, because the search engine bot has indexed your website, you can now easily pull out that page if it's relevant to the search queries. Now, let's take a look at ranking. So when a user performs a search, the search engine uses algorithm to rank the most relevant pages from the index. These rankings are based on various factors, including relevance, quality, and user experience. Now, this is how search engine is able to rank websites after it's been indexed. Now, let's take a look at this process once more. So when a search is initiated, the search engine bot gets to move around the internet and index all certain pages on the internet, and once it's been indexed, it has insights on the content of these pages, and then based on the relevance and quality and user experience, it's now able to rank this website accordingly. And that's what happens when we initiate a search, and that's why you see all of these websites here, they are being ranked accordingly based on this process. Now, let's take a look at the categories of SEO. So SEO can be broadly categorized into three main types. We have on-page SEO, off-page SEO, and technical SEO. Now, let's move into what on-page SEO is so you can get to understand it and how you can apply this knowledge if you want to optimize a website using this category, which is on page SEO. So first, definition of on-page SEO. It refers to the practice of optimizing individual web pages to improve their search engine ranking and attract more relevant traffic. So what on-page SEO does is it's a process where web pages where it's a process of optimizing individual web pages. So let's say you have a web page where you have a certain content. So let's say you have a blog on a blog post or an article rather on that blog, and this includes things that you do in order to help search engine easily rank that blog when people search for relevant keywords that are found on that blog. So it involves making adjustments to the content, HTML source code, and structure of your website to make it more search engine friendly, user friendly. Unlike off-page SEO, which focuses on external factors like backlinks and social signals, on-page SEO deals with all elements that are directly within your control on your website. Now, what this means is that you are responsible for your on-page SEO. So now this on-page SEO simply means the activities that you do on your website in order to ensure it is well optimized so that when people initiate a search on the internet and it contains that keyword that's on your website, Google can easily pull up your website and recommend it to that user because of the level of on-page SEO that you have done. So that's basically what on-page SEO means. So we are going to be looking at the key components of on-page SEO. So we'll be looking at content quality and optimization. So now what does this mean? It means creating high quality, valuable and relevant content that addresses the needs and interests of your target audience. Now, what does this mean? For search engine to rank your website high, you need to make sure that you are creating high quality and valuable content. And now, how is the search engine bot able to understand that you are creating high quality content? Now, over time, if I initiate a search on the internet and I'm looking for a blog post on how to make money, and so let's actually do it. How to make money on the internet. Now you see there are a couple of websites that are going to populate. Now you see there's one from MailChimp. As you can see, this is actually sponsored. There's one from Ned Wallet. We also have one from MailChimp. We have one for Forbes. We have one for Shopify. Now, what does creating relevant content means? Now, search engine actually tracks the activities of users on the internet. So if I click on this post and I spend a lot of time on this post, it tells search engine that my content is relevant to my audience. And if this happens continuously, it tells search engine that you are creating relevant content. And whenever someone else searches for a similar keyword, they get to display that content once more, because if user A was able to spend 5 minutes on that blog post, user B spent 5 minutes, it tells them that your content is relevant and this is going to help in your ranking. Now, this is marketplace. I'm just trying to see where this links to. So this is internal linking. We're going to basically talk about this. Passive income, all of these are internal linking. And this here are SEO best practices to help you improve your ranking, because this is great for SEO, because once a search engine bot gets to this website, they can easily crawl this link, get to see what's on this page. They will easily crawl all of these links. So it helps them to rank your website, and it helps them to tell or display this website to users because of the relevance. Now, search engine loves internal linking a lot. Now, this is internal linking. I can tell because I can see where this links to. So you can see it here. So once I click on this link, you'll see the URL. So this is internal linking. Now, once people spend a lot of time on your website, it tells search engine that your content is relevant. And when someone else searches for a similar content, they will get to show them your blog as well, and it's going to help improve your ranking as well. So that's how creating good and quality content can help you improve your ranking. Now, content is the core of any web page and plays a crucial role in ranking. Search engines like Google prioritize content that provides value in well-written and comprehensive in and value is well written and is comprehensive. So I'm going to read through that again. Content is the core of any web page and plays a crucial role in ranking. Search engines like Google prioritize content that provides value, is well written, and is comprehensive. So, like I said, once people get to your websites, they get to spend time. It tells search engine that your content is relevant, and they will show it to more people because search engine wants to ensure that they are able to serve people with the right form of content as well. Now, strategies on how you can ensure that you are creating quality and optimized content. So use a clear and descriptive title that includes the primary keyword. Now, one of the reasons why all of these websites are actually popping up, if you see, this is my search query, how to make money on the internet. You can see MailChimp here has the title, how to make money online, how to make money online, how to make money online, how to make money online. You can see all of these websites displaying here. They have, that keyword, make money on the internet. And, on the internet and online, these are synonyms, and this is great for SEO as well. 10 easy ways to make money online. As you can see, all of these websites here have this keyword, which is what this means. Use a clear and descriptive title that includes the primary keyword. Now, break content into easy to read sections with subheadings, H1, H2, etc. Now, let's take a look at this content so I can show you what this means. Let's take a look at this blog by MailChimp. Let me show you how MailChimp is able to break down their content into using the various headers. Now, this is H1 because H1 is the largest header when it comes to creating headers using HTML tags. Now, this should be either H3 or so or H2. Now, as you can see, these are all headers. And if you look at this here, it says break content is into easy to read sections with subheadings using H2, H3, etc. Now, if you are creating your blog post, you make sure that it is well structured. It's breaking down into several headers so people can easily read and understand. Look at how this blog post is structured. You can see here is a paragraph, here is another paragraph, and it's well structured and it's broken down by different headers. Now, this is recommended by search engine because it gives people a good reading experience. Now, moving forward, maintain proper keyword density without overstuffing. Now, this is where people have issues. Now, because SEO recommends that you use your keyword in your content, it doesn't mean that you should stuff your keyword on your website because you want search engine to rank your website. Because when Google bots gets on any website, they get to crawl your website and they get to read your content basically. So for this blog post, you hear how to make money online. So let's take a look at the first paragraph. So it says, if you are looking for a side hustle or a new business idea, you may have thought about ways to make money online. Now you see make money online. This is also one of the keywords here, make money online. You see how they are able to make this keyword what to display here in the very first paragraph. Now, what some people would do is, because this is the keyword, because they want it to rank high, they're going to ensure that they have make money online literally everywhere on their content. Now, this is bad SEO practice. It's recommended that, these keywords and synonyms flow naturally on your content. So this is something that you should avoid when creating SEO optimized content. Now, use LSI, which is latent semantic indexing keywords. So it means related terms that help search engine understand the context. Now, for this content here, you can see that, let me see if I can find somewhere where, they use a related keywords. Well, we're actually going to look at some examples so that we can move a bit faster. But then it basically means that you can use other words on how, like, earn online, because it's related to make money online. So you do not just stick to that keyword and then stuff it on your content. Now it says ensure your content is unique, informative, and answers users. Let me read that again, pardon. Ensure content is unique, informative, and answers users' queries. Example, you have FAQ section. So you need to make sure that your content is unique, informative, and answers users' queries. Now, this is important because it's also against SEO. It's against ethical SEO for you to get somebody's content and use it on your website. Now, that's why here it says that you should ensure that your content is unique, because if you take somebody else's content and then you use it on your website, search engine is going to know, because they crawl all these websites and they are able to identify that this website was first published on a certain site. Now, why do they have this form of content also published on your website? Now your website will be penalized because your content is not unique. So it's important that any website or any content that you are publishing on your website, it's important that it is unique so that you are not penalized by search engines. Now let's take a look at title tags. Definition of title tags. Now, like I said, we are looking at on-page SEO. So now we're looking at the components that can help you to rank your website, that can basically that are within your control, that you can use to rank your website. So first we look at creating quality content. Now the second one we'll be looking at is title tags. Now the HTML element that specifies the title of a web page, which appears on search engine result pages, which is SERPs, as the clickable headline. Now, your title tags. Now, on this blog post, this is basically the title tag, how to make money online. So, what this means is that you should optimize your title tags. Now, your title tags are major ranking factors and serves as the first impression of your page for both search engines and users. Now, best practice, keep titles under 60 characters to avoid truncation. Include the primary keyword near the beginning of the title. Make the titles compelling and relevant to encourage clicks. Now, let's take a look at other websites here and let's see how they actually structure their titles. Now this here, how to make money online, Let's take a look at other results. Need a passive income stream. Here are 10 ways to make it. Now these are also related titles that shows readers how they can, in a way, make money on the internet. So that's why they are also ranking here. Make money sharing your internet. So these are also ways you can make money online. The top 5 ways to make money through the internet. So what this is saying is that ensure that your title is well optimized and has the keyword. That way, when people search, these search engine bots will be able to index your website and present it on the first page of Google. Now, moving forward, you need to ensure that, like I said, your primary keyword is near the the beginning of the title. This is important. Make the titles compelling and relevant to encourage clicks. Now, this here is one of the ways you can improve your on-page SEO. Now, let's take a look at meta description. Now, what is meta description? Now, meta description, let's take a look at the definition here. So this is short snippet of text that describes the content of a page appearing below the title tag on SERPs, which is search engine result pages. While not a direct ranking factor, meta description significantly influence the click-through rate by providing a concise summary of the page content. Now, if you are optimizing a page, once you are done with your title, the next thing you need to look at is the meta description. Now, what are meta description? Let's take a look at some websites that we have here. Now, this is the title, and immediately after the title, you find the meta description. Now, let's see what this meta description says. Discover tips on how to start, run, and market your business. Explore the Intuit MailChimp marketing library for curated business resources, 100 plus templates, A/B testing and surveys, accept online payments, insights, and analytics, easy to use integration. Now, this is the meta description. Now, meta description helps you to deliver more context on your title to encourage people to engage with it. Now, let's take a look at this. Now, how to make money online, 33 ways to earn. Convert your passion into money, make music, become a virtual assistant, write a book, offer freelance services. Now, this is the meta description. Now, for this, it says how to make money online, 23 proven ideas for 2024. Now, look at the meta description here. It says explore 23 ways to make money online with Shopify's comprehensive list. Learn about e-commerce, dropshipping, affiliate marketing, and whatnot. Now, this here is the meta description. It also helps you to rank your content. It's an opportunity for you to impute certain engaging lines that is going to help people to click on your page when it's ranked on the search engine result pages. Now, let's take a look at the best practices. Now, keep meta description between 150 to 160 characters. Now, this is recommended. That way, it's recommended, so that, you can actually display relevant information on the search engine result pages, which is going to prompt people to now engage with your content. Now, include target keywords and a compelling call to action. Write unique meta descriptions for each page. Now, with meta descriptions, like I said, you can, give more context to your page, which is going to help people to, which is actually going to help you increase the click-through rate to that page. Now, let's take a look at the other one. We have URL structure. Now, this is also something to consider when you are setting up a page. Now, you don't want to have a really, really long and boring URL. That's not best practice. So if you look at all this website now, you're going to see the URL is very, very short and descriptive. You can see just beneath the left side of my screen, right beneath, you're going to see the URL. You can see that for Shopify. It's very, very short and easy to read. So it's important that your URL is short and easy to read as well. Now, that's one of the ways to optimize your website for SEO, specifically on page SEO. The format and length of your URLs for your web pages. Now, clean descriptive URL provides better user experience and are easier for search engines to understand. So imagine you have a URL that's so long and it has a lot of characters. It's going to make it difficult for humans to understand and also search engine to crawl to make sense of it. Now, if you look at this URL, you can see, like I said, it's very, very short from Hostinger. If you look at the left beneath my screen, basically you're going to see the URL, hostinger.com, make money online. You can see the URL is very short. You can see all of these websites, they are adhering to SEO best practices, and that's why they are ranking on the first page of Google. Now you want to avoid special characters and unnecessary parameters. Use hyphen instead of underscores to separate words. Now if you look at some of these links, you're going to see they use hyphen. You can see ways to make money online. So these are best practices, and as you can see, all of these websites are adhering to all of these on-page SEO practices, and that's why they are ranking on the first page of Google. Now the next one is header tags. Now we have a couple of header tags, and this is from the biggest to the smallest, which is H6. So this is H1, H2, H3, and down to H6. Now it's important that you have headers on your website, and these headers are properly arranged based on order of significance when it comes to your content. So for the fifth one here, I said you need to make use of header tags. Okay, so let's take a look at the definition. HTML tags used to define headings and subheadings on a web page. That's what this is used for. It's used to define headings and subheadings on your web page, and search engine bots actually they appreciate this a lot because it helps them to get to understand the structure of your page, and they get to read through it and understand the contents that you are dishing out. So it's important that you have these headers. You use these header tags. Now let's take a look at MailChimp. Now this should be H1, like I said. This should be, I think, H2 or H3. Now this is how they are able to use the H1, H2 tag to basically structure the content on their blog page. So this is very important, and it just helps you to create this hierarchy, and it aids search engine bots to assign relevance to certain parts on your content. So this is actually past 8. We should be going for a short break now, and this is to help you put yourself together while we come back, and we're going to continue from where I left off, and we're going to basically exhaust our slides on on-page SEO, where you get to understand how the things you can do basically to rank your website and get it to show on the first page of Google.
Have you ever wondered all our social media platforms? Have you ever wondered how your favorite brand on all our social media platforms? Have you ever wondered?
Hello guys, you're welcome back from the short break. Without further ado, I will pick up right where I left off, and by 8:30 I will start taking your questions, so get them ready so we can go over them. Now we stopped at header tags. As I said, HTML tags these are basically HTML tags that are used to define headings and subheadings on a web page. Header tags help organize content, making it easier for users to read and for search engines to understand the page structure and content hierarchy. Now, for best practices, it's recommended that you use only one H1 tag per page, which should contain the main keyword. Now, utilize H2, H3, etc. for subheadings to create a logical flow and enhance readability. Now, let's take a look at this page. This page now, this is the header which was written with the H1 tag, which is the largest, just as recommended. And about this as well, ensure that your content flows naturally. It doesn't seem like you're trying to force keywords. You're trying to force about 5 to 6 keywords within one paragraph, or that's the other one, which is image optimization. Now, image optimization refers to ensuring images on your website are properly formatted, sized, and described for both user experience and search engine. Do this. You need to ensure that the images on your website are lightweight. They are not really large. Now, this is an image. This is an image. Let me see if I can copy this. Now let's take a look at, so this is now looking at this, it doesn't even seem like an image. Basically, it looks okay. This is an image now. Now you can see copy image. Now if I click on this image, you can see it's important that you make sure that your images are lightweight and you add a meta and alt tag. What this does is it helps search engines to be able to understand your image, and it's also great for accessibility for screen readers, for them to be able to get to know what this image is all about. Now, that's how you can optimize your image. That's how you can basically optimize your image so that website would load faster. So if you have an image that is very large, it will take a long time for the website to load, which is going to impact your load time. And adding an alt tag to your image basically makes it easy for search engine to get to understand what that image is, and it's important for ranking. We're going to look into this, how you can create alt tags, when we get into the practical session where I'm going to show you where you can add all of these things. Now, let's take a look at the best practices. Now, use descriptive file name and alt text with relevant keywords. Compress images to reduce the file size without sacrificing the quality. Implement lazy loading to improve page speed. Now, like I said, ensure that you add the relevant alt tag. You also need to reduce the size of your image, so that your website is going to load fast. Now, the next one we have here is page speed. Page speed optimization. Now, page speed optimization refers to the time it takes for your web page to fully load. Page speed is a critical ranking factor. Faster loading pages provide a better user experience and are favored by search engines. Now, you can see how it actually works hand in hand. So if you have large images on your website, because of the size of these images, it will not be able to load fast. Now, it's important that you reduce the sizes of the images on your website, so it's going to have a positive effect on your load time. Now, it's important because search engines prioritize websites that load really fast. You don't want to get to a website and then it takes about a minute to load with good internet. Now, that's not a good user experience. Search engine prioritizes good user experience. So it's important that you make sure that your images are lightweight. That way your website or your pages will load a lot more. Now, let's take a look at the best practices. First, you have minimize HTTP requests by reducing the number of images, scripts, and CSS files. Now, HTTP request, basically this is a process whereby your website gets to request files from your server. So once you're able to reduce the requests, by having few images and scripts and CSS, it actually helps to improve your load time. So that way, it long doesn't take longer time for your website to get to load images and scripts that are on your website. Now you can use a content delivery network to speed up your content delivery. Now, what a CDN is basically is a content delivery network. Now, it helps to reduce load time, whereby if you have a lot of images and videos on your website, you can have this files on a content delivery network. Now, it's going to be on a different server. It's going to be on a different server entirely. So that when people request your website, what it's going to do is it's going to now pull this information from another server, therefore reducing the load time on your website. Now, you can optimize images and leverage browser caching. Now, what this means basically, once you optimize the images on your website, and for caching basically makes it easy for search engine to display your website to users. Now, what caching means is that the user or the search engine doesn't get to load your website from inception. When I mean inception, where it gets to load every single images on your website. So if it has done this before, there's always a cache on your system. So the search engine just basically picks up from that cache instead of loading the entire system from the start. Now, mobile friendliness. Now, this is also another important aspect of on-page SEO, because these days, aside from just ensuring that your website is fast, the amount of mobile users are numerous. So it's important that your website is mobile friendly so that people can use it both on the web and on their mobile phones as well. So if your website is not mobile friendly, it's going to impact your ranking, and it's a bad on-page practice. So ensure that your website is mobile friendly. Now let's take a look at the definition here. Ensuring your website is fully responsive and performs well on all devices, especially mobile. With the rise of mobile searches, search engines prioritize mobile-friendly websites in their ranking. Now, if you are building a website, you need to ensure that you check your website on different screen sizes, on mobile, on desktop, on iPad, just to ensure that regardless of the screen size, it renders properly. Now, let's take a look at the best practices. Now, use responsive web design techniques. Test your website's mobile friendliness using tools like Google's mobile friendly test, optimize touch elements, and ensure fast mobile load times. Now, here also implement schema mockup, which is structured data. Now, let's take a look at this definition. So this is a code added to your website to help search engine understand the context of your content. Schema markup can improve how your pages are displayed in the SERP, which is search engine results pages, often leading to rich snippets that increases CTR, which is click-through rate. Best practices: use structured data to mark up events, reviews, products, or other relevant entities. Test your schema mockup using Google structured testing tool. Now, this is more practical than something I can just explain theoretically. So we'll have to go into this when we get into the technical part of SEO, where we are going to look at all of these codes and how you can submit this to Google Search Console. That way, Google can effectively crawl your website. And as you can see, it's a code that is added to your website to help search engine understand the context of your content. So it's more like it's a code. It comprises of a couple of languages. It's something that the search engine bot understands well, and with that, they are able to crawl your website and Well-organized pages provide a better experience, which can lead to higher engagement, longer dwell time, and lower bounce rates. Now, search engine, they care about user experience because users are their customers, so they care about user experience. Now, SEO or on-page SEO, it matters because Google prioritize their customers because these are people who come to engage, to initiate searches, and from the result of these searches, they are able to learn something, they are able to make a purchase. So ensuring that the user experience is great, it's important to Google. Okay, so that's one of the ways or why on-page SEO really matters. Now, user experience, basically, once your website is mobile friendly, it's part of user experience. Once your content is relevant, it's part of user experience because people are going to enjoy that experience and it's going to make them basically come for more. Now, why on-page SEO matters? Because here it has direct impact on ranking. So on-page SEO elements like the title tags, we have spoken about this, meta description, the content quality are direct ranking factors. Now we have explained all of these things, what the title tag is, meta description, the content quality, all of these things are basically going to help your website rank higher, and that's why on-page SEO matters. So once you have your title tag well structured, your meta description that captures what your page is all about and capture certain keywords, you also have where you are delivering quality content, whereby people get to spend a lot of time on your page consuming that content. All of these actions helps to improve your overall ranking. Now it increases visibility and click-through rate. Now, if you have, if your page, or your website, it has the correct form of on-page SEO, basically it also helps to increase visibility because now Google is going to show your page to people who are searching for relevant keywords. And once they see this page, they are going to engage with it, which is going to increase your click-through rate, which is really, really important. Because once you have a lot of people that are clicking on your website, what this does is they get to enjoy your content, you get to sell to them, you get to recommend products to them and whatnot. Now, if you for businesses that sell, let's say, hair growth products, there are people who go online daily to search for ways that they can grow their hair. Now, how a lot of people use SEO to basically capture sales is that they can create a blog post about hair growth. Now, let's initiate a search and let's see what we're going to see. Natural ways to improve hair growth. Now let's take a look at the results that we will see. Now, how to grow hair naturally. Now you're seeing something called a geranium oil. The use of geranium oil as a treatment significantly promotes trusted source hair growth. Now let's click on this and let's get to see what this content looks like. Let's see if they will try to sell us something. Now, what are the options for natural hair growth? Fast facts on how to regrow hair, lifestyle techniques and methods. Now, for someone who wants to regrow hair, they will take their time to read through all of these things. They will take their time to read through all of these things. And these are home remedies, red ginseng. So if you look at this, there is now a link that is taking me somewhere. Now, most times you get to see blog posts that will tell you that, hey, this is how you can get this product. And with this, you're going to click on their recommendation and buy their products. Now, this is how businesses use SEO to sell, because once you read through this content, you have already consume a lot of value, which will help you trust what these people are saying, and you can easily follow their recommendation. Now, let's take a look at tools for on-page SEO. Now, we're going to look at some of these tools basically, but for now, I'll just run through all of these tools. Now, we have Google Search Console. So it monitors your site's performance and provides insights into areas that need improvement. So how Search Console works is you have to submit some information, verify your site with Google Search Console because you want Google to crawl your website, and you get to see all of this information on how many people got to your website, how many minutes they spent on certain pages. All of this information can be gotten from Google Search Console. Now, we'll be looking at used SEO for WordPress, a popular plugin that helps optimize content, titles, meta description, and others on page elements. Now, we're going to look at this. I have a website, I have a WordPress website where I use used. So we're going to look at a couple of things moving forward. How used SEO, how used basically works when it comes to optimizing or helping you optimize your content, where all of these things are going to basically come in place. Now, SEMrush offers a SEO audit tool to analyze on-page SEO factors, identify optimization opportunities. Now, SEMrush is an SEO tool that has a lot of features that you can use to analyze the traffic of certain businesses, get to understand where certain websites might have SEO-based lapses. So SEMrush, you can actually check it out. I don't know if they have a free plan, but I believe they should have a demo plan where you can just get to see the features and how it works. And Ahrefs provides, I'm not sure I pronounced this right, I'm going to check though, and provides in-depth analysis of on-page SEO issues like broken links, missing meta description, and content gaps. Now, what this tool does is once you input your URL into this website, what it does is going to populate results from its SEO queries. If there are any broken links on your website, if an image doesn't have a meta description, all of these things we spoke about, it's going to pinpoint all of them. And with this recommendation, you know where to start from. You can get to see the actual images, that are not properly optimized for SEO and all of these things. And with this information, you can easily implement necessary changes. So here, so this is the summary for on-page SEO. On-page SEO is fundamental to improving your website's search engine visibility and user experience by focusing on optimizing content, meta tags, URL structure, images, and other elements. You can increase your chances of ranking higher in search results and attracting more targeted traffic to your website. So at this point, I have walked through, all of the things that you need to do to achieve on-page SEO. So in our next class, we're going to be looking at off-page SEO, basically, which is under the category of SEO. We're going to see what off-page SEO is, and how this can be done. And once we're done, we'll actually get to the part where we get to the nitty-gritty of everything, where we get to carry out certain tests on some SEO tools. I get to show you around WordPress and how you can carry out basic optimization, and also also give you links to resources that you can go basically study on your own and see how SEO can be implemented. So SEO can be implemented on a website. So if you have a WordPress website, or if you have websites that are hosted on content management system, or if it's a custom-based website, so on this website you can implement this on-page SEO to those websites. Whoa. I didn't realize I wasn't sharing my screen, but I hope I was able to basically explain everything and you were able to understand it. I wasn't sharing my screen, but you're going to have access to the notes. And I think I made some examples that were not captured. I think probably in in subsequent class, where we're going to have a lot of questions, all of these things can actually come in and I get to address them. So at this point, you can start submitting your questions, so I can respond to them. So please, you can start submitting your questions so I can respond to them. Okay, if you have questions, please pour in your questions. There are things you need more clarification with, please let me hear them, so I can attend to them. Now, someone said she has questions, but she has forgotten. Please, if you have questions, please ensure you jot it down, that way we can actually look through it. Now, people are asking, now someone is saying she doesn't understand anything. Now, SEO is actually a bit, I won't use the word a bit complicated, but you actually need time in order for you to, get to understand SEO. So I'm going to give a brief recap. Basically, I think that's what everyone is saying, that I should. Yeah, I think I've not been sharing my screen after the break. Okay, so I think what we'll do, I think that was a mistake on my part, but I'm going to share my screen and give a quick recap on this session, and we'll try our best to actually pick up. So that's what I will do. So I'll share my screen once more, my entire screen, so we can have a quick recap. I think that's really, really going to help us. So on the recap, now what is search engine optimization? So search engine is the process of optimizing a website to improve visibility on search engine results pages. Now, by improving a site's SEO, it becomes more likely to appear at the top of the result. Now, basically what SEO means is it actually helps businesses to rank their websites on the first page of Google. Now, why this is important is because, let me take for example, if you want to search for information on the internet, most likely I can tell you that majority of people do not get to the second page of Google. Now, let me show you what I mean. Now, let's say I want to buy a blue bag. I want to buy a blue bag. Now, these are a number of blue bags. Now, if I want to buy a blue bag, I can easily select from all of these bags here and then pick the one I want to buy. Now, it's going to be very difficult for me to exhaust all these options here and then click to the next page, which is page 2. Now you see, now this is another page entirely. Now, what SEO does basically is it helps businesses to rank their websites on the first page of Google. That way, when people conduct organic searches, their businesses can appear on the first page of Google and they can make a sale. So what SEO does, it helps businesses to leverage organic traffic because it is more targeted. Me searching for this basically means I want to buy. So any website that pops up here, I will certainly want to check what they have and buy. Now, Jumia is here. If I click on this, now it's going to take me to Jumia's website, and I'm going to see a couple of blue bags, as you can see. Now, this is Jumia. This is Jumia basically leveraging SEO to promote their website and get me here so I can make a purchase. I believe now you are able to understand how SEO basically works. Now, like I said, SEO uses organic traffic. Now, organic traffic refers to visitors who land on your website as a result of unpaid organic search results. Now, there is paid and unpaid organic search results. Initially, when I started, I spoke about ads, okay, where businesses run ads. With search engine optimization, you do not need to run any ads because of you are now able to optimize your website. Search engine is going to populate your website to people so they can see what you are selling because you are now able to optimize it organically. Now, what SEO does, it helps you to actually quit spending money on paid ads. Now, remember, I spoke about paid ads. What are paid ads? Now, if you initiate any search, you're going to see results that are sponsored via paid ads. Now, I want to buy a clipper. Now you can see sponsored. I spoke about sponsored. Sponsored means that Jumia is paying Google to get, Jumia is paying Google so that their website is going to show at the very, very first result, because most people buy from the first result that they see. They do not really have the time to go down to the very last result. So Google is paying money. So this is SEM. This is actually paid ads. We're going to look at it and look at how we can compare them both. Now, Jumia is paying money so they can rank on the first page of. They are paying money so that they can rank on the first page of Google, which I mentioned the other time is the search engine result pages. So this here is the search engine result pages. So this is the search engine result pages, and look at it. This is the search engine result pages. As you can see, all of these are sponsored. Now, what SEO does, it helps your business to get to this position that people are paying money for, because you are able to implement certain SEO practices for your business to get to this point. Now, that's just the basics of SEO. Now, it can be a bit overwhelming, but over time, you get to understand how it works and basically how to implement it. Now, look at the key characteristics of SEO I spoke about. It is unpaid. You don't have to pay for your business to get to that point. Now, unlike paid traffic from search ads, organic traffic comes from search engine's natural results. You don't pay for each click or visit, making it cost-effective way to attract visitors over time. Now, for Jumia right here, as you can see, this is sponsored. If I click on this, Google charges Jumia for this click because they charge pay-per-click. So Google, they charge Jumia for every click. But when you are using SEO, even if I click on your website, you do not get to pay because you are leveraging best practices so your website can rank high when search queries are entered. Now, relevance. Like I said, organic traffic is highly relevant because it is generated when users search for keywords related to your content. Now, it is relevant because when people initiate a search, Google is going to tailor the right form of content to them. I made an example initially when I was talking about paid ads. If you use Facebook and Instagram a lot, you see ads that are popping on your face even though you do not search for them. And you realize that if you search for a bag, so let's say you head into the search option on either Facebook or Instagram and you search for a bag, you notice that over time, Instagram or Facebook will start sending ads that are related to bags your way because you have given them an insight towards what you want to search. Now, this is basically the concept of SEO. Now, the characteristics of organic traffic, like I said, it's relevant. Organic traffic is highly relevant because it is generated when users search for keywords related to your content, your product, or services. Now, it has long-term impact. Now, SEO helps you make sales because it has long-term impact. Now, the moment Jumia stops paying for this ad, they will go up on the first page of Google. So even if I have a new website without any form of optimization, as long as I'm able to pay for specific keywords, my website will rank on this page on Google because I am paying for it. And the day I stop paying for it, my website will no longer rank. Now, SEO, with SEO, you don't need to pay money. So you can, because of best practices, your website will rank for the next 2, 3 to 5 years. So it has a long-term benefit. Now, that is basically what SEO is, and that's how businesses use SEO tailor their products when relevant searches are conducted, and that's how they are able to convert these searches into click-through rates and then into sales. Now, I've given a quick recap on what SEO is, and I know you have a lot of questions. So I think what we'll do is one of our classes, as SEM means search engine marketing. That's something we're actually going to look at moving forward. Yeah, I just did that. So that's what we're actually going to look at that moving forward. And I think what we'll do is the final class that I'll be doing, I'll take that time to have a recap on basically everything, so you get to understand what SEO means. Now, SEO can be a bit technical, but when you dedicate a bit of time, you will basically get to understand it. Now, someone is asking, how do we create a website? There are different ways of creating a website. You can use content management systems, which include WordPress, which includes Wix, and a couple of others as well. So those are ways, and you can also create custom-based website. We will look at a few of those things, and I can actually guide you with resources on how you can, basically build a website and how you can implement SEO on that website. So, in summary of basically what I've said, especially what I explained today, I talked about on-page SEO. Now, what on-page SEO means in general, it includes activities that you do on your website so that it ranks on search engine. Now, there are different aspects of SEO. We have on-page SEO, we have off-page SEO. Now, off-page SEO, that's what we will be talking about in our next class, so I don't want to, complicate things even more. But on-page SEO is what we will be. You talked about H1, H2, please. What does? So now, what H1, H2, H3 means is, so if you have idea on HTML, it just gives you the cadence on how you can structure your headings on when you are creating content. So H1 is the largest amongst this group, followed by H2, H3, and H6 is the smallest. So that's basically what it is. Now, let me share. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm actually going over a recap. That's what I'm doing basically. I'm going over. So I think I'll just go over a quick recap of the, from the second session, probably so we can actually catch up. So let me do that right away and try to run through it. So this was where we stopped on the second session. Yeah, we stopped at H1, H2, H3. And like I said, header tags. So these are some things that you have to implement, on your on-page SEO, which will help you to improve, which could basically help you to, improve your on-page setup. So first, someone asked, what is H1, H2, H3? Now, these are header tags. Now, if you take a look at this post, now this is H1. Now, this is the best way I can explain it. On this page, this is H1. No, this is not H. Yeah, this could be H3 and this could be H2. So now, what are headers? Header tags help optimize organized content, making it easy for users to read and for search engines to understand the page and content and the content hierarchy basically. So let's take a look at the best practice. Like I said, use only one H1 tag per page, which should contain the main keyword. Now, if you look at this this article here, you can see it only has this. So this here is the H1 because this is the biggest. That's how you can identify H1 in on any article that you're seeing. So this is the H1 because it is the biggest basically. Now this is H1, and once you move down, this should be H2, this should be H4 or H5. So what you can do basically to get a clear view of this, you can just go online and check H1 to H6. You're going to see how they appear visually. So for keyword optimization, I spoke about this when you want to achieve on-page optimization. So this is the strategic placement of relevant keywords throughout your content to signal to search engines what the page is about. Now, I spoke about this initially when it comes to optimizing your website with relevant keywords. So you should make sure that the keyword is properly structured on your website and you avoid keyword stuffing. Now, let's take a look at the best practices. Now, incorporate primary and secondary keywords naturally in your content. Include keywords in title tags, meta description, header tags, and the first 100 words of your content. Now, this is what I said, avoid keyword stuffing, which can lead to penalties. Now, let's move over to the next one. Now, I spoke about internal linking. Now, internal linking basically means linking from one page of your website to another. That's basically what it means. Search engines like internal linking. Now let us take a look at the other text I have. Internal linking helps distribute page authority throughout your website, guides users to relevant content, and assist search engines in understanding the structure and hierarchy of your site. Best practices: use descriptive anchor text to link internal links. Ensure every page is no more than 3 clicks away from the home page. Link to relevant content that adds value to your reader. Now let's take a look at this page now. Now this is a link. Now this is a link. This link is leading to another. It's leading to another website. Now this is backlinking. Now this link is leading to another page on this website. Now this is what internal linking is, where you have links to various articles on your website that complements the current article that your reader is reading. So search engine loves this. They basically love the fact that you are able to share resources to aid your reader or your audience better understand the piece of article that they are reading. Now, image optimization. Now, search engine doesn't like a situation whereby you use huge images on your website because it affects the load time. So it's important that you optimize your images so they are small and you add alt text. Alt text is basically a form of description you add to text. We're going to look into this when we get practical. I just want you to get to understand what this is. Now, we're looking at page speed optimization. So what is page speed optimization? It is the time it takes for your web page to load fully. Page speed is a critical ranking factor. Faster loading pages provides a better user experience and are favored by search engines. So one of the ways you can improve your on-page SEO is to make sure that your page loads really, really fast. It loads really, really fast. And one of the best practice is to make sure that you use lightweight images on your website. And here it says minimize HTTP requests by reducing the number of images, scripts, and CSS files. Now, these are files that are required for any website to work. It needs images, it needs scripts, and CSS. So ways you can minimize HTTP requests is by caching, or you make sure that you reduce the number of these files on your website. That way your website can load fast. So if you still need all of these files on your website, you can now use a CDN. A CDN simply means Content Delivery Network. What it does basically is it takes the load off your website. So instead of having all of this content, the videos on your website, you are now hosting this content on a server, on a different server. So that way it helps your website to load a lot more faster. So this is what a lot of brands do. They use a CDN where all of these heavy files are no longer on their website. That way, it's a lot more faster for their website to load. Now, optimize images and leverage browser caching. Now, what this means is that, like I said, reduce the size of your images, and if you ensure that you have browser caching on. What this does is it helps search engine to load your pages a lot more faster, because now, because there is a cache on your system, they do not have to load every images, every videos on your website over and over again. They just pick from the cache and display these resources to your users. And now, mobile friendliness. Now, you can agree with me that a lot of people use the internet on their phone. Now, one of the ways to boost your on-page SEO is to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. I cannot overemphasize. So if you open a website and it's great on desktop, or mobile, you get to see elements overlapping each other. That is bad web design, and it's terrible for SEO. Google doesn't like it because people cannot consume your content. So this will impact your ranking, whereby reducing your ranking on search engine result pages. Now, here it says, for best practices, use responsive web design techniques. Test your website's mobile friendliness using tools like Google, and using tools like Google's mobile friendly test, and optimize touch elements and ensure fast load times. Now, this is very, very important. You need to optimize the touch elements on your website, if there are icons, if there are images, so that your website will load fast. Google loves websites that load really, really fast, because it's very, very daunting when you get to a website and it takes about 1 minute for it to load. That's a lot of time. So Google do not like such websites, and if your website has such an issue, it's going to impact your ranking. Now, schema mockup, which means structured data. So this is a bit more technical. So it's a code. As you can see, it's a line of code that is added to your website to help search engine understand the context of your content. So once you are done basically creating your website, you will be given this code to add to your website. That way, search engine can crawl your website and get to understand the content on your website for better delivery. So this is a quick recap on page SEO. I hope I've been able to touch some of the things I couldn't. I'll go back to the class. Let me see your questions so I can basically attempt them and help you gain clarity on some of the questions you'll be asking.
Have you ever
Yeah, someone is asking if I want.
brands find you? How did they? Have you ever? Have you ever?
Yeah, so I'm sorry for the second part where I forgot to actually share my screen. So please, your question should actually come in. I'll look at them and try to provide answers to them. And this note will be available towards the end of this this week, because I'm still working on it, basically, so that you can read it and understand. And there will be a couple of quizzes, that would help you get to understand this. Now, someone's asking if I want to build a website, does it involve money? Of course, it involves money. Now, you need to buy hosting. Now, hosting is more like you are buying an environment where the files, which includes your images, which include your videos, where they are going to sit on the internet. And you also need to buy a domain. Now, a domain is your unique form, it's a unique name that people can easily reach you online. So we have domains like google.com is a domain. So you have to get a domain and a hosting before you can, get your website on the internet. So those are like the basic things that you need. Someone's asking what is URL. It means Universal Resource Locator. Basically, you can actually check that online. URL. Yeah, that's what it means. Universal Resource Locator. Thank you very much. Don't worry, the next lesson, we'll be able to actually cover a lot. And please, you can go and gather up your questions and ask, and I'll actually offer that clarity to them. Now, someone is asking, is SEO only useful for Google? Now, SEO works in a lot of places actually. So now this SEO, now at the moment, I explained SEO when it comes to using the web, which is Google, which is like the major search engine that we use basically. But then if you are searching for information on if you are searching for information on places like YouTube, on Facebook and Instagram, they also use the same. They also use the same a form of that form of algorithm to pull up content for you based on the keywords that you use. So the next class is tomorrow. And tomorrow we are going to look at off-page SEO. We're going to look at off-page SEO, and once I'm done explaining off-page SEO, we'll get to see how they work together. Yeah, the next class is tomorrow. Please, you can take your attendance. And thank you very much. We see tomorrow where we talk about off-page SEO. Yeah.
Have you ever wondered
thank you.